What's going on YouTube? It's the Trucker Gene coming at you. I'm about to fill up real quick and I'm gonna drop a video right now for y'all if you're stuck in a jam and you don't have a GPS. So keep it locked, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into the video. All right, what's going on, y'all? So, I had to make this video real quick because this just happened to me. Right now, I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I just did a delivery in Jackson, Mississippi. If anyone's been to Jackson, let me know in the comments, because if you guys have been there, you know that the suburb of Ridgeland, which is where I deliver at, that place is heavily truck restricted. I try to get in and out using the exact same route every time because I don't deliver here often, so I don't know the route like the back of my hand. I just know it enough to where if I stick to this path, I'm all right. But today, I actually ended up missing my turn. So these tips I'm gonna give you are the exact tips that I used to get to where I'm at right now. Number one, this is probably the most important thing right off the bat. Do not panic. If you panic, you're gonna do silly mistakes like this, because when you're scared and nervous and flustered, you're just gonna start doing wild and crazy stuff to get out the situation, and that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that you get your nerves together before you do any of these other tips, because if you're paranoid and worrying about these cars behind you and you're looking in the mirror like this and you start breaking down, you're gonna make a crucial mistake. So first and foremost, calm down. It's gonna be all right. It's just a moment in time. It will pass. I promise you. Even though it feels like it right now, it's not the end of the world. You will make it through it. All right, so tip number two, look around and see if there's any important signs that have any valuable information on there. If you see any interstate signs that look like this, or any highway signs that look like this, make sure that you keep an eye on those, because with the interstate signs, 95% of the time, you should be able to use those if you are in an 18-wheeler. With the major highways, there's about a good 75% chance you could use those. Sometimes you may encounter, restrictions or low bridges, maybe, but 75% is still better odds than going down a residential area, which we'll cover in a second. Just a heads up for you guys that may not know this, even numbers go east and west. So interstate 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever, etc., go like this. Odd numbers, interstate 25, 35, 55, etc., they go north and south. So always remember that, just in case your GPS malfunctions, you will know if you're going the right way based off the odd and even numbers. Make sure you look for signs that say no trucks or a symbol that looks like this, because that'll help you to get back to where you need to go. Also, try to get an idea of where you are by making sure that you're paying attention to what those signs are saying, because they have a lot of important information on there. Number three, make sure you are parked somewhere somewhat safe. Make sure you're on a shoulder. Make sure you're somewhere where you're not really impeding traffic like that. But if worst case scenario, if you have to park on a curb versus going into a residential area or going under a low bridge or anything like that, stop wherever you possibly can. The safer the better, of course, but wherever you can stop right now, make it work. While you're parked, you need to pull up Google Maps if you don't have a trucker GPS. This is assuming you do not have a trucker GPS. Pull up your Google Maps and turn satellite on. I'll try to insert that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, but you want your satellite images on. You want to be able to zoom in and out on the exact roads you're gonna be on. Make sure you don't go anywhere near these type of roads. A road that looks like there's houses around it, a road that's connected to a bridge that you can't zoom in and see the clearance, and anything that looks like a two-lane road. A lot of those two-lane roads have truck restrictions on there, and if you cannot zoom in to verify that there aren't any truck restricted signs, I would avoid those two-lane roads and try to focus on roads that have two lanes on each side. Now, of course, if you're in a rural area, there's probably going to be nothing but two-lane roads, so sometimes you got to take the chance. But the thing is, if you zoom in on the path you'll be driving, you'll actually be able to notice if there are any signs most times. So I would definitely recommend to avoid those roads, but if you have to, make sure that you look and see what's on those roads. Tip number four, and this is very important, always go straight. The only reasons that you shouldn't be going straight is if you found a big, humongous lot that you can turn around in safely without any cars, any buildings, or anything like that. When you can turn around in that lot safely, that will be a reason where you could stop going straight. If you see an interstate or a highway sign going left or right, and it's leading you to that interstate or that highway, you've already verified that there's no low bridges or anything like that, that would be another reason why you could stop going straight. If the worst case scenario comes and you continue to go straight, and let's just say, God forbid, you encountered a low bridge, calling the police to have them help you get out of the situation is better than any other outcome of you doing something crazy like trying to hit a curb, hit a U-turn. None of those are viable options. Never make U-turns in the middle of the road. I repeat, never make U-turns in the middle of the road. I had to emphasize it because someone just lost their life not too far from here. A driver decided to make a U-turn in the middle of the road to get back in the other direction, and his tail end of his trailer clipped a car, and that driver lost their life. So no U-turns in the middle of the road. You're better off just going straight, turn into a truck stop, a Walmart, anything that's enough space for you to clear obstacles but make a safe U-turn in that area. I would recommend that. I would recommend that you stay straight until one of those options present themselves. And tip number 5, and I think this tip might be just as important as the don't panic tip, you gotta use common sense. And I don't mean no disrespect to you guys. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody watching this video, but you gotta use common sense. If you see that a road looks too small, don't put the truck there. You know you're gonna get stuck. You're not a mad scientist that's gonna find some new method to get this 53-foot trailer in this one-lane road with other cars coming because you're you. No, don't do it. If you see it and it looks suspect, just stop. You'd be better off stopping and calling someone and say, hey man, I can't get it in there. Or hey, I don't know how to get there. Hey, I'm lost. Could you help me? That is better than trying to force the issue and damage property or damage equipment or ultimately hurting somebody. It's not worth it. It's not that big of a deal. The freight will get there. That's why you see all these accidents on these YouTube channels and all that, because people don't know how to calm down. And I'm speaking from experience. I was just in this situation, guys. So I followed all those tips, and that got me back to Interstate 55 to get back to Interstate 20 to take me in the direction of Shreveport. That was a stressful situation, don't get me wrong, but I didn't panic. I had to use what was around me, and I had to make smart decisions, and ultimately I had to use common sense. So if you see something that doesn't look right, stop, analyze, and ask yourself, does this make sense to do that? And if you have to ask yourself, 9 times out of 10, probably not. So if this video is helpful for you, as always, guys, drop a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the support, guys. I got more content coming on the way. As always, be safe, be blessed, and it's Gene rolling out.